My name is Michael Mills. I'm 38 years old, and I'm a wheelchair athlete in two sports. I compete in wheelchair racing and then obstacle course racing. Since I was probably 4 years old, I've always had glasses or wore contacts. So, I mean, I'm almost 38, so I mean, over 90% of my life I've had some kind of corrective lenses, and it's been difficult. I mean, the sports that I do, you know, I constantly have to worry about, even before the race starts a lot of times, if I'm going to finish because of my lenses, something getting in my eyes, you know, or just having to pull over, you know, and fix something before I compete anymore. One of the things, you know, getting ready for the surgery is, of course, the excitement of being able to get up in the morning, not have to worry about putting my contacts in. Competing, you know, in my two sports, not have to worry about getting mud in my eyes or getting dirt on my contacts, or racing a race and going 30 miles an hour down a hill and fear of something hitting me in the eye. You know, even with sunglasses, you still get stuff in your eyes, you know, and being able to have this ICL done, you know, I don't have to worry about contacts anymore, you know, and that's exciting because I've had these my whole life. You know, it's time for a change. Getting into it that morning, it started to get a little anxious because, I mean, that was, you know, surgery day. It was much easier than I thought it was going to be. During the surgery, I mean, you know, the lights were bright. You know, you can't really see anything going on but shadows maybe a little bit. And that was one of the cool things about having the light so bright, is you can't see the surgery going on. And I never felt anything either. I could see my eye joggle a little bit, but that was because he was inserting the ICL implant. And coming out of that, you know, setting up, getting back in my chair, rolling to the waiting area, and the first thing when I sat down and they asked me how I was feeling, could I see? And I remember closing my left eye because, you know, that wasn't there yet. The implant wasn't put in, but my right eye, I looked down and I saw the word unbreakable on my Spartan bracelet. And when I saw it, it stood out, and it was almost like an immediate 3D kind of a reaction. Then I saw a couple of my tattoos, but then I looked over and I saw everything, and before I know it, I mean, I teared up. I mean, because, I mean, for all these years I've worn contacts or glasses, and then having to go from that and having to adjust my eyes to everything, then immediately looking down and knowing that I have no more contact. You know, I actually can see this, and it's there. And it was a pretty cool experience to be able to see that right off the bat. You know, now it's getting ready to prepare for a race. There's no thought process of having to think about my eyes. I'll just go through the motion of like everybody else, and it'll just be that much more faster. And that's what I'm excited about. There's no thought process. It's just a motion. The coolest thing, like I said, was telling Dr. Woodhams, you know, and we were talking about the eye surgery stuff, and he said, you know, you'll be able to see, you know, immediately after the surgery. I said, the first thing I want to do, I want to see my wife. And he kind of laughed. He's like, wow. I said, she's pretty now. I can't wait to see how pretty she is after the surgery.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. If you have glasses or contacts, you've probably heard of LASIK. But how do you decide who to trust to do surgery on your eyes? I've done the research. Woodhams Eye Clinic is the first and most experienced eye clinic in Atlanta. It's one thing to tell you, it's another to show you. This is my mom and dad, Bill and Carolyn Cardwell.
Good morning. How are you today? I'm fine, thank you.
When I told them I trust Dr. Woodhams and exactly why I trust him, they scheduled her appointment.
I could not see the phone book. I could not see any magazine. I had to go get some cheaters, or I had to have my contact on. It was just a blur.
Woodhams Eye Clinic performs extensive testing to determine each patient's eye care needs and candidacy for eye surgery. Their specialists have years of experience, not to mention amazing bedside manner.
Well, that's just what we wanted.
As for my mom, Dr. Woodhams confirmed she had cataracts.
Just what we wanted.
A cataract is actually a clouding of the lens of the eye, which starts to affect your vision. So when it gets bad enough, as we did with your mom, we remove it microsurgically and replace it with an artificial lens.
It sounds complicated, but Dr. Woodhams has performed tens of thousands of procedures. And while Mom chose enhanced cataract surgery with lens replacement, my analysis finds Dr. Woodhams and the Woodhams Eye Clinic was Atlanta's very first eye surgery clinic, and today the region's most experienced clinic, performing over 1,000 vision corrections procedures every year. Procedures like implantable contact lenses, prelax, and of course the procedure we've all heard of, LASIK.
Right. We call it refractive surgery, but LASIK, which is a laser treatment, and lens implants are all different operations that can help people to see better, to restore vision, and function without glasses or contacts.
Here's the amazing part. My review finds a typical patient can discover his or her options in one short visit and literally schedule their life-changing surgery to be performed the same week. What's more, you can usually return to work or to your normal routine the next day.
That's great.
Just made a new woman. Of
How's your vision now?
Great. I don't have any problem seeing out, or I can get a magazine. It's got very small print and read it.
And the question everyone asks is, does it hurt? Mom said not a bit. For professional, comprehensive eye care for your entire family, you can trust Woodhams Eye Clinic.
Most people have heard about LASIK by now, or they know somebody that's had it done, and they've heard miraculous things about the operation, and most of them are true. It's a fantastic thing that we can do. But LASIK doesn't necessarily fix all of the vision problems that people have. Particularly as we get older, the source of the problems in our vision are increasingly coming from the lens. It's not just that the cornea is not focusing at a distance, because that's the one thing that LASIK does well. So we want to pay more attention to the lens. By the time we get into our 60s and 70s, the lens may look like this, whereas when we were 20 it looked like this. The hardening is followed by a discoloration of the lens that begins to affect our vision. It happens so excruciatingly slowly that we have no idea it's happening. So we think that what we need done is LASIK, and in reality you can do LASIK on the cornea, but you still got this problem, and it's a problem that's progressive. It's a problem that's going to continue. So we want to address oftentimes nearsightedness, but we also want to deal with the problems of presbyopia. One of the ways of doing that, just like optometrists do with contact lenses, is monovision. You can do it with LASIK, you can do it with lens implants. The problem, of course, is still there's a planned imbalance, and that's a certain amount of shortcomings to the procedure. It's not really treating the issue. So that's where prelax comes in. Now, prelax is for older people. It's a more aggressive operation than LASIK, and it costs about twice the money that LASIK does. But you're getting three things. You're getting not only the distance vision correction that you would get with LASIK, but you're also getting the return of near and intermediate vision, computer distance vision, in a way that LASIK can't do. And you'll never develop cataracts, because in effect, you've done a preemptive solution to the cataract. As eye doctors are always telling their patients, the eye is a lot like a camera. But there's a lot of differences too, and if you carry that analogy too far, you're going to get into problems and misunderstandings. So let me show you how it's different. Unlike a camera, we actually have two focusing elements. We have the natural lens, which sits immediately behind the pupil, held in place by an encircling muscle. But we also have the cornea. Now, most people just think of the cornea as being the place where they put their contact. But in reality, that's actually the stronger of the two, the more important of the two focusing elements of the eye. LASIK, by its very definition, is a treatment of the cornea. And yet, Prelex is a treatment of the lens, because there are problems now occurring in the lens that LASIK could never treat. LASIK being so well known now, people think, gee, maybe it's a commodity. I mean, why don't I just go to the cheapest place, have it done, and move on with my life? But that's a very short-sighted attitude, because LASIK is not LASIK is not LASIK. Now, most of the really cheap operators that were started by entrepreneurs that had nothing to do with medicine are gone. They just could not provide the level of quality and consistency that the public wants. The cheap places are full of ads. You still see them. LASIK for $495, LASIK as low as $695 an eye and that. But believe me, we've looked into it. There are no more people done at those prices than is absolutely necessary to say that you've done at least one or two. When you get there, you'll find that it's a bait and switch, it's an upsell. And before you know it, you'll be paying something very, very close to the highest quality LASIK doctors in Atlanta. Some of those things are the technology. LASIK was approved by the FDA 20 years now. But the things that got LASIK approved by the FDA are no longer the most important things, the most exact things. Unless your doctor has kept up with the technology, has invested in the new lasers, the ways to do things totally blade-free, for example, where no metal even touches your eye, you're not necessarily going to get what you think is LASIK, because LASIK is not just LASIK. Another thing is, if you go to a LASIK clinic and they sell you upgrades like a lifetime warranty, we see crazy things like that. That clinic's not there in a few years. Where are you going to go with your lifetime warranty? It's far better to go to the same doctor or the doctor that works with Woodhams Eye Clinic, where you know that you're going to be taken care of as you develop new vision problems, as you go through life, because it's so much easier to address those if we know you, if we know what your eyes were like before they had LASIK.
It is genuinely a life-changing procedure. It will change your life. It's like being able to walk without crutches for the first time ever. Okay, what's up, guys? Hey, it's Sarah Hopkins, aka Say Hop. So I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. I actually wanted to do it back in March, so I would be right on the 1 year mark of when I actually got the procedure. It's okay. First and foremost, if you're watching this because you're thinking, maybe I should get LASIK, I'm not sure about it though, kinda nervous, do it. So through the course of this video, I'll be talking about 3 major things. First, what you need to know before you go into the doctor's office. Second, what you can expect on the day of the procedure, what it felt like for me, my experience. And third, the results. How do I feel now about it? She wanted to say hi. So first, before you can get the procedure, you need to know if you're a candidate. Apparently, you have to be pretty bad to be a candidate. There is a spectrum as far as vision goes. This is like perfect vision, and this is very much past legally blind. So you have to be kind of in the middle of that. And I was about right here, a minus 2.75. If you know your prescription, that means something to you. If you don't, that's just a number, I don't know. For example, my sister, her vision is so bad, she can't even get LASIK. She's too bad for LASIK. She's a minus 10. Could you imagine? No. Your eye doctor, either an optometrist or an ophthalmologist, can tell you if you are even a candidate, and that is if your prescription hasn't changed for about a year and you are above 18. Be 18 to 40 is, I believe, the range. I need to double check that. I'm gonna fact check myself and put a little bubble right here if I'm wrong, so. Part 2, okay, the day of the procedure. What can you expect? Well, I'm just gonna go through the day of what I did. So you just get there, and you go into a waiting room area where they will give you some sort of sedative, like a Valium or something fun like that, and you get to melt into a chair until it's your turn to go. So they give you about half an hour to 45 minutes for that to fully kick in. You are very relaxed, and you are awake the whole time during the procedure. It is a surgical procedure, but you are wide awake, except for the Valium making you super chill. Is it doing?
It's still on the surface.
Oh wait, oh, you're doing the whole 10 seconds? So I went and I laid in the chair, and they gave me this teddy bear to hold, which sounds so silly, but honestly it was the most comforting thing. Also, there was a person there the whole time who I think it was their sole job to have their hand like on my leg, like to reassure me. It was the nicest, sweetest thing. You get under and they will flood your eye with numbing drops, completely flooded, and it feels like water. It doesn't feel like anything, so it's fine. Especially if you've been wearing contacts for an odd number of years, you know what that feels like to have stuff in your eye, so it's not that disconcerting, to be totally honest with you. And you're on Valium, so you're pretty chill. So they put the ring on your like ocular bone to make sure it stays open, and they keep your eyelids open with another little clamp thing. This kind of sounds scary, doesn't it? It really wasn't. I was laying back and he was explaining very calmly everything he was doing. So he would get the laser in position and he would tell me, he's like, all right, your vision is gonna go blurry like you're looking through a frosted glass window for just a few seconds. I was like, okay, I got it. So he did it, and just like he said, it went completely blurry, like I was looking through a frosted glass window, but he told me so I wasn't nervous. I think if he hadn't told me that, I would have been like, uh-oh, uh-oh. But you just have to stare at this light for 15 seconds or so. We're literally lifting up a flap, lasering down to reshape, and then putting the flap back down like it's a bandage. That's why you don't have to have any stitches or anything. It was time for the other eye. He did the same exact thing. And then when he was done, he moved the laser out of the way and he said, all right, Sarah, sit up and tell me the time. I could read the time across the room. For people that have perfect vision, this is like, okay. But for people that can't see without having contacts in and being able to read a clock across the room,
Whoa.
I'm all done and they gave me these sweet shades.
you have to have, of course, someone drive you home because you just had surgery on your eyes. It would not be safe.
I feel like Keanu Reeves.
We'll walk across the street. We'll go back.
They give you a take-home package which has eye drops you have to put in every day, some pain medication, and a sleeping pill so that you can go home and just go straight to sleep. There is zero pain during the procedure. I should have really emphasized that before, but there is zero pain during the procedure. The pain that I experienced was only afterwards. And I say pain very loosely because it really kind of felt like I had been swimming in a chlorine pool with my eyes open all day. That burn, it was just like a really big burn and my eyes are watering. That's it. It wasn't like I was crying or I couldn't stand the pain or I needed to be sedated. It wasn't like that. And my experience was apparently on the worst end of the spectrum of pain after the procedure, because some people, they will go off and play golf the same day. There's a kid that literally went out and played golf the very same day he got LASIK. So
I have to wear these goggles so I don't scratch myself in the eye. I have to wear them all night.
I would do it every year if I needed to. Cut to a year later. How's my vision now? It's fantastic. It's better than 2020. I will say that at nighttime, car headlights kind of look like starbursts, but that is what happens. And it doesn't stop me from driving at night. So I'm in Atlanta and I went to Dr. Woodhams, Woodhams Eye Clinic. If you're in the Atlanta area, would recommend. 10 out of 10, one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I would say the takeaway message of this video should be, if you think you're a candidate, go find out if you are. And you should not be scared. There is no reason to be scared, especially if you go to a really good clinic. Is there a LASIK scene in Final Destination?
Oh yeah, bad.
Nuh-uh.
Oh, it's really bad.
Oh, what idiots. My eye doctor has been doing this for so many years. He's done more than 10,000 procedures and he's never cut anyone's eye out. The success and satisfaction rate of LASIK eye surgery is like basically 100%. I can put an actual number or something right here later. Really kind of hard for the doctor to mess up, especially if you get a good ophthalmologist. I'll have a spare set of contacts in case this one rips. It is so freeing. It is so freeing to not have to think about that anymore. Keep going. What?
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone.
I can see clearly now, my rib. I can see clearly now. Your face. I don't know the lyrics.
Prelex is presbyopic lens exchange. And the definition of it is the removal and replacement of the natural human lens with any degree of cataract, and that's key, where the primary goal is to achieve good uncorrected distance vision as well as intermediate and reading vision. The ideal candidate for the Prelex procedure is somebody that's interested in getting away from glasses and improving their vision. Usually they're thinking about LASIK, but they have different things going on. They're at a different stage of their life where LASIK might not be the best solution for them because of changes in their lens. These are the kind of changes that in 10, 15, 20 years may turn into a cataract, but you don't have to wait, you don't have to have a cataract to have Prelex. here's the cross section of the front part of the eye of a 56-year-old patient of mine who came in for LASIK. Now, to get you oriented here, there's the upper eyelid, the cornea, that's the part of the eye that the contact lens might sit on. But going deeper down, here is the iris, that is the colored part of the eye in cross section. You can see it's opaque, so it's very, very bright. The yellow line shows us the pupil. Now this is a flash picture, and where the light goes through the pupil and hits the lens, if the lens were completely clear, you wouldn't see anything, it would be black. But as you can see, in this part of the lens, remember that the lens goes completely across, you can see we're starting to develop these layers of clouding, of hazing here. That's the hardening of the lens, that's the presbyopia itself. Now, if you had a cataract, the lens could look as white and as dense as that. Well, I became an ophthalmologist, an eye doctor, because I wanted to help people see. I started out actually wanting to go into psychiatry, which is a way of helping people see, I guess. But when I first looked through a slit lamp and saw an eye, it looked like an organic jewel. And I said, this is really what I want to do. LASIK has reached a pinnacle of safety, precision, and accuracy that was unknown 10 years ago, thanks to the advances of intralays, the blade-free type of LASIK, and custom view, which is the wavefront-driven measurement, customized mapping of the eye. This allows us to arrive at a degree of sharp vision that is oftentimes unattainable with glasses or even contact lenses.
Before I had LASIK vision correction, I started with contacts, and I hated them. They bothered me every single day. So then I tried glasses. And I just never liked the way I looked in glasses. They always bothered me. I always felt like I could see the frames. And so I just went without for years. And to the point that I was missing exit signs on the interstate, that's when I decided I really needed to do something. The procedure took literally 15 minutes, and then I was done. And then I got to lay on the sofa and take a nap. And then when I woke up, my vision was awesome, 20/20. What could be better?
I was really nervous about the procedure leading up to it, but I got here and it felt like I was walking into a room full of my aunts and uncles. Everybody was just making sure that I felt good. My prescription was low, and I think that may be a little bit rare for people, but I had perfect vision when I woke up the next day.
I had the ICL a few months ago, and what actually led me to really needing or feeling the need that I had to get this procedure done was actually because of my wedding day. When I walked down that aisle, my eyes were so itchy and blurry and red that I didn't even know if my husband was standing at the end of the aisle. That's how bad my vision was. And it was at that point when I realized I've got to do something, because I can't live life like this. I can't live through these big moments in your life and not being able to see them clearly was just unacceptable to me. My vision today is actually better than 20/20, which I don't think anyone can ask for anything more than that. I mean, I can see, more than perfectly. It's one of those things where I wish I could go back now and redo big moments in my life, like my wedding day, and be able to see things crystal clear like I can today.
Cataract surgery has advanced tremendously over the past 10 and 20 years to a degree that would have been unbelievable when I started my career. I remember a time as a child seeing my grandparents and their friends wearing these very thick glasses, which I had explained to me was because they had cataract surgery. Those are completely unknown now since the advent of lens implants. The safety of the instrumentation through phacoemulsification, through microsurgery, has improved the speed, accuracy, and safety of the phaco operation where nowadays it's an outpatient procedure that typically takes 15 minutes or less and requires minimal anesthesia.
Honestly, I didn't know I had cataracts. It was talking with some friends. We had talked about some vision issues, and he says, "You may have cataracts." And I said, I can't believe that. But went and had him tested, and sure enough. And one of the things he told me, my friend, was that when I got rid of the cataracts, how much better the colors would be. And he was absolutely right. It's been like coming to visit old friends. From the time I walked in, from the receptionist to Dr. Woodham, it's just like visiting old friends. It's one of the few doctors I don't mind coming back to visit.
I found out I had a cataract by visiting my local doctor up in Canton, and I knew I had one growing, but I thought it was growing a lot slower. And with the physical exam, I knew that I had trouble because he said, "I can't make your lenses work any better." He said, "We better remove the cataracts." My overall experience here at Woodhams was excellent. From the time I walked in the door till I walked out the door, which seemed a very short time, everybody was very professional, very welcoming. I had no trouble. It just worked out perfect.
Prelax, or presbyopic lens exchange, is offered exclusively at the Woodhams Eye Clinic. It consists of the removal and replacement of the natural lens of the eye with any degree of cataract, with the primary goal being to correct distance vision and near vision simultaneously, all without the need for glasses postoperatively.
Hi, I'm Jan Granum, and I'm a surgery counselor at Woodhams Eye Clinic. Prelax changed my life in such a wonderful way. Before I had this surgery, I literally could not see anything past right here. Everything was shapes and colors. The night I had it, I sat on a couch about 6 or 8 feet from the TV and read the movie credits and cried like a baby. Do you know what a wonderful feeling that is? My favorite thing about being a refractive coordinator at Woodhams Eye Clinic, which I've done for many, many years now, is the ability for me to share my experience with them and explain to them exactly what Prelax can do for them and how it can change their lives in a positive way. I have tremendous respect for Dr. Woodhams. He maintained his intraocular skills along with his LASIK skills. I believe it gives him an incredible understanding of how the entire eye works together because he can treat all aspects of your vision.
So here I go. I'm going to Woodhams Eye Clinic this morning to have PresbyFix done, which PresbyFix is going to rid me of these goofy reading glasses that I have to wear all the time when I read stuff and can't find when I need them and so on. And so here I go. I'll be one of the first in Georgia to have it done. So I'm excited about that. I got my paperwork ready to go. Good morning.
The PresbyFix procedure consists of creating a very small pocket in the cornea of the eye, the clear part of the eye, with a cold laser. The inlay that is used in PresbyFix is placed into that pocket in the center of the eye's vision. This is a procedure that's performed on one eye.
Here I am.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a Ponto block on your left eye.
Okay.
I'm going to block your tear duct.
Okay.
Okay, it's not unusual that your eye gets dry
Okay.
after the procedure. That's why you're going to be putting a lot of lubricating drops.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, well, if you please lean forward and rest your chin right there.
Hold on. That's it. You may sit back. I'll see you right there.
Okay.
There you go. And gently just clean around the eye.
I close my eye completely, yeah?
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay.
This is your volume.
Okay, so I take 2 of these?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Bottoms up.
Okay.
Go what?
How are you feeling?
I feel very loopy. I had 2 Valiums to relax me for the surgery, and that worked. Big time.
Here we go, Joe.
Mr. Joe will have to stay at the door.
Yeah. Bye, Joe.
You feeling all right?
Yeah.
You carry out of here?
No. Nothing to it.
Hi, I'm Park Stamper. I'm middays on 104.7 The Fish. I'm having prelex on my left eye. I am developing a cataract. I know it's odd considering I'm only like 20, but I can't even say that with a straight face. I currently have monovision, which means I can see distance fairly well in this eye and close up kinda okay in this eye, but the distance is hosed up. And so actually, one of the things that affects me is I wear a piece of glasses when I drive, and I have them right here. They are literally a piece of glasses. So at night, yeah, I'll tell you what, I am not easily impressed with ophthalmologists because I've seen so many throughout my life, but I really, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I have been so impressed with Dr. Woodhams and the whole team because the thoroughness. And it's funny, I was talking about this on air, because it's a procedure and I'm a little nervous and stuff. And I had a lady call me out of the blue, and she had heard one of the commercials I was doing. She's like, I just wanted to call you and let you know that it's going to be awesome. You know, she was legally blind in one eye, and she came in and had prelex done. And now she can see, and she can like see the chart. And she was like, I've never been able to see anything but the big E on the chart. Now I can read it down. And she said that she was a wimp, but it's a piece of cake. And if it was a piece of cake for her, anybody can do it.
I'm marking down the days on the calendar till my surgery date. I cannot wait. It's going to be like Christmas Day for me. I can't read anything up close. A pill bottle, I'm having to run to the light in the window or run under a lamp. I can't read my insurance card. I mean, I feel like I have a disability right now.
Prelex is presbyopic lens exchange. And the definition of it is the removal and replacement of the natural human lens with any degree of cataract. And that's key, where the primary goal is to achieve good uncorrected distance vision as well as intermediate and reading vision. LASIK doesn't necessarily fix all of the vision problems that people have, particularly as we get older. The source of the problems in our vision are increasingly coming from the lens. It's not just that the cornea is not focusing at a distance. By the time we get into our 60s and 70s, the lens may look like this, whereas when we were 20, it looked like this. Prelex is a treatment of the lens because there are problems now occurring in the lens that LASIK could never treat.
He said it's painless, it's short, I will see the benefits gradually, unlike LASIK, the first time where I woke up and just saw the world in a whole new light.
You're getting three things. You're getting not only the distance vision correction that you would get with LASIK, but you're also getting the return of near and intermediate vision, computer distance vision, in a way that LASIK can't do. And you'll never develop cataracts.
This is going to open up a whole new world for me and take this late 40s lady and put her back in her 30s.
Now, when you're working with the bees, they're small to begin with. And when your eyesight isn't that terrific, it's kind of hard to differentiate between a worker and a drone and a queen. I never dreamed that in my mid-50s I would start developing cataracts. That's why I had the Prelex. So that was one of the first things that I noticed this spring after the procedure was just how clearly I could see everybody inside and how easily I was able to find the queen when I needed to. That was huge. That was a big aha.
Hi, I'm Chris Dolman, and I had Prelex at Woodhams Eye Clinic. I found Woodhams Eye Clinic through Dr. Chu in Minnesota, and I found Dr. Chu on the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. It was just this new revolutionary surgery, and he recommended Dr. Trevor Woodhams. I just said, you know what, let's go for it. I was experiencing, had cataracts from, I guess, times just being outdoors so much and playing football. My eye were deteriorating in a sense that, I couldn't see my golf ball anymore. I couldn't read books. I didn't like the part about having perfect sight, then all of a sudden you're handicapped with glasses. So, after talked to Dr. Woodhams and he said, I can fix this, I was all for it. The experience was awesome. He comes in, he spends time with you, he explains to you what's going to happen. It was literally a painless surgery. And I've had a couple surgeries in my life after 15 years of professional football, but this was truly a painless surgery. It's been absolutely amazing. To have that skill, to be able to cut such a small incision, to take out a cataract, to replace it with a new lens, and 24 hours later, your eye feels like it's never even been touched. It's truly remarkable. I can literally now be out on the golf course and look at my phone and read a text message or a quick email. I can walk into a restaurant and order and not say, oh shoot, I forgot my glasses. Cataracts are gone. I don't have to worry about cataracts. I just get my normal checkup, and I just feel great about this whole process.